Alright, you are welcome to today's tutorial. I'm so happy I'm able to create this video today, and what we'll be learning about is formulas and calculations in sewing. You might be very surprised. Wow, formulas. What do we use formulas for in sewing? Yes, so we need formulas in our sewing. When you have formulas in sewing, you would not make any mistake in your sewing. So here you will see that I have a basic body. So we'll start from the shoulder side, that is the armhole depth. So if you want to get your armhole depth, we have a formula for it. Maybe sometimes you see people saying, this my cloth is tight on my armpit, it's very tight, you start losing again and start sewing all over. No, you don't need that. All you have to do is use formulas and get your armhole depth, and you will see that you will not make any mistake anymore in your sewing. So what is the formulas in our armhole? We want to get our armhole depth. You will measure the person's shoulder. So when you have your shoulder measurement, you divide it by 2. Your shoulder divided by 2 is what you will measure from here to here. Your shoulder measurement divided by 2 is what you measure from here to here. This is your armhole depth. This is your shoulder line. So this is your shoulder line. Whatever you measure here is what you measure from here to here. So now, let's for instance, the person's measurement is 16. Like we have here, the person's measurement is 16. So all you just have to do is just to divide the 16 by 2, and you measure 8 here. You measure 8 here. Whatever you have here is what you have here. You see, that is what you have here. That is your shoulder depth. You can write it in your notes so that you won't forget. So anytime you are sewing and you feel like, what is that formula? You just bring out your notes and check it. So your armhole depth, the formula for your armhole depth is shoulder divided by 2. Sometimes we can forget to measure our client's shoulder, but you know what, there is another formula for that. The second formula we have to get our armhole depth is bust measurement. When you measure the person's bust, you divide the bust by 6, then you add 1.5 to it. Let's for instance, our bust measurement is 36. 36 divided by 6 will give us 6. Then when we add 1.5, you see that our armhole measurement will become, you see that our answer will be 7.5. So that 7.5 is what we are going to be marking in this area. So you see that even if we forget to measure the person's shoulder, we have another formula to get our armhole depth. So don't forget. Let me check if I'll see a note to write it out for you. Let me just bring it out in a note. So our formula for our armhole depth is shoulder. This my barrel is not writing. Shoulder divided by 2. For example, e.g. 16. Let's say the person's measurement is 16 divided by 2 is equals to 8. Can you see? I don't know how you'll be able to see it very clearly on my note. I don't have marker, otherwise I would have used marker to show you. Shoulder divided by 2. For instance, the shoulder is 16 divided by 2 will give us 8. That is the measurement we are going to be marking in this area. Now, if you use the bust measurement that you want to use, you will use bust circumference. best circumference divide by 6 plus 1.5. So let me zoom it. So if it's bust measurement you are using, you use bust circumference divide by 6 plus 1.5. So let's assume the person's bust measurement is 36. Dividing it by 6 will give us 6. If we divide this bust circumference by 6, our answer will be 6. By the time we plus 1.5, it will give us 7 plus 1.5. Our answer will be 7.5. So in that case, what we'll be marking from our shoulder line to this point will be 7.5. That will be our shoulder depth. There's another thing we need in our sewing, that is our bust span. So this is the formula for getting our armhole depth. This is the formula for getting our armhole depth. We have the shoulder and the bust circumference, so you can use any of the two. Now let's get over to the bust span. That is the second formula for today. The second formula we need is our bust span. Bust span is our nipple to nipple measurement. So if you want to get your nipple to nipple measurement without stressing yourself, you need to use your bust span, your bust circumference to get it, so that you will not have a nipple to nipple. After sewing your dress, the nipple to nipple measurement will be on the side. No, it doesn't make sense that way. It's supposed to be right on the middle of your apex, that is your nipple. So the formula we have for that is our bust circumference divided by 8 minus 1. Our bust circumference divided by 8 minus 1. Let's, for instance, the person's measurement is 40. Divided by 8 will give us 5. Well, by the time we minus 1, our answer will become 4. So when we are marking it, we mark it this way. We mark 4 here. Mark 4 here. Mark 4 here. But remember, you add allowance to it. So by the time you add your ½ inch allowance, it will become 4.5. So you mark the 4.5 down to the desired length that you want. So after doing this, you connect it. So can you remember the formula we just said? Let me repeat it. Our formula for bust span, that is our nipple to nipple measurement, we always use this when we want to make our blouses, our gown. So when you want to get your dart line, your princess dart, or your nipple to nipple measurement, they are all the same thing. You use your bust circumference divided by 8 minus 1. Assuming the person's bust is 40, dividing it by 8 will give us 5 inches. By the time you minus 1, it will become 4 inches. So that is what we will be marking from this edge here to this edge. That is your nipple to nipple measurement, or your princess dart line. So let me still write it on the note if you will be able to see it, so that you copy it on your own note too. So this is the first formula that we used, and this one is the second formula. I don't know if you can see it very clearly. So but this time you use your bust, let's say bust span. So you divide your bust circumference divided by 8 minus 1, e.g. 40 divided by 8 will give us 5. This 5 now, you minus 1, your answer will be 4. This 4 will be this 4 here will be what you are going to be marking as that will be your princess dart line. That is what you mark here. That is what you are going to be marking as your princess dart line. So let me bust curve size. Now move to the third formula, which is our bust curve size. Yes, we can also use formula to get our bust curve size. How do we do that? All you have to do is to minus your bust circumference from your under bust circumference. Let's, for instance, our bust circumference is 36 and our under bust circumference is 32. By the time we minus our bust circumference from the bust circumference, our under bust circumference from the bust circumference, 36 minus 32, our answer will be 4. Then we divide it by 2. When we divide it by 2, our answer will be 2 inches. What I mean is, let me draw it on our pattern here so that you would understand more better. Now we have our dart line. This is our dart line. I've already showed you how we can get this dart line. Now what we need is, all you have is to do is just to measure, bring 1 inch this way from your under bust line, and now we come to the formula we are trying to say. By when you minus your bust circumference, when I say bust circumference, I mean your bust, which other way will I put it? Your bust measurement. Yes, your bust measurement. When you minus your bust measurement from your under bust measurement, that is what I mean by bust circumference. So your bust circumference minus your under bust circumference divided by 2 is whatever your answer is what you are going to be minusing from this place now. So now that you have minused 1 inch here, you come down by half an inch from your bust point down. From your bust point down, you come down by half an inch, and our bust circumference is 36. Our under bust circumference is 32. So by the time we minus it, our answer will become 4 inches. When we get 4 inches as our answer, we still divide that 4 inches by 2. Our final answer will become 2 inches. That 2 inches is what we are going to be marking here. You see? So whatever you get here, you mark it down. That is what you are going to be marking down to your desired point. Also this 1 inch. Then after that, you connect. This one. If you have your curve ruler, you can just use a curve ruler to curve this part this way. From the half inches you brought down, you marked down, you curve it like this. Then use side also curve. This side don't have to curve. This is the main part we really need to be curving, because this is the bust size. Now after measuring it this way, you see, so whatever our answer is what we are going to be minusing from this part. This is just the main thing we are looking for. Now if it's presence that you are working with, you just have to check your midpoint of your armhole depth. Mine is 4. So whatever you minus from this part of your dart is what you are going to be marking here. You mark 1 inch here. I also mark 1 inch here. Then you come to your bust line and come up by 1 inch. Then you connect this one. Connect this one. Then from this 1 inch that you bring upward, mark it down also, down to this 1 inch here. Then from this one also, take it, also mark it down. Now you see you have your core. Now you have your core. Now after measuring, after bringing out all these things, you come from this your line here, from this line here, you come up by 2 inches because we minus 2 inches from. You remember we mark 1 inches upward, 1 inches downward. So that is why we are marking extra 2 inches up from here. That is what we can curve again. So new curve line. Curve it again. So our new armhole line. That is because of this. So by the time you cut it out and join, to be equal, to be very equal. So hope you understand this part. So whatever you minus from this place, you are going to add it back this place. What we removed from here is 3 inches. You add it back. This is to enable the dress not to be too tight on the person after sewing it, because you are going to be trimming this out and you are going to be joining it. So you need to add it back. Then the sewing allowance also. So now we can move to the, okay, let me write it on the note so that you'll be able to write it out on your own notes. These are things we need to have in our shops. The third one is our bust cup size. Bust cup size. All we have to do is, like we have explained, minus your bust circumference minus your under bust circumference. Your bust circumference minus your under bust circumference minus 1. Divide by 2, sorry, not minus. Divide it by 2. Your bust circumference minus your under bust circumference divided by 2 is your bust cup size. For instance, we used 36 as our bust circumference. 36 minus 32. 36 minus 32, which is our under bust circumference, will give us 4. This 4 is our bust cup size. Then divide by 2. Our answer will become 2. So by the time you divide it by 2, whatever your answer is what you are going to be minusing from this. Is what you will be minusing from this. I'm not seeing it. Whatever your answer is what you minus from this part in your under bust line. That is what you will be minusing from here. So that is that. I hope you understand. If you don't understand, you can also ask me questions again so that I will explain more better. So if you go to the market to buy wrapper and you want to know the bust size, cup size of the person, you don't know the cup size to use, the first answer your division gave you is the size you use. In the market they name them A, B, C, D, just like that. So D is the number, 4th one is the size 4. So this one, 36 divided by 36 minus 32. 36 minus 32, our answer will become 4. This 36 is our bust circumference minus our under bust circumference of 32. Our answer will be 4. This 4 here is your bust cup size. Then by the time you divide, that is the measurement you use to buy your cup bra. If you want cup bra, then if by the time you have divided this 4 by 2, you divide this 4 by 2, your answer, whatever it gives to you, is what you minus from this point. Depending on the person's bust size, this one you use it for all bust sizes. So if the person's bust is very big, the answer you get will be bigger than these 2 inches, or bigger. But this side is constant. You don't have to add or remove, just constant 1 inch. You use it for all cup size standard measurement. This 1 inch on this side is standard measurement, but this side always varies because people bust are different. So that is that. Now let's move over to the fourth one. Let's move over to the fourth one. The fourth one is our sleeve cap height. The fourth one is our sleeve caps height. The fourth one is our sleeve caps height. If you want to get your sleeve caps height, let me show you that is when you want to cut your sleeve. Sometimes we find it difficult to know the place we'll be placing our measurement. What you have to do in this situation is by dividing your cup circumference by 12 plus 1 inches. That is your sleeve cap height. How do I mean? For instance, our bust is 36 divided by 12. Our answer will be 3 inches. By the time we add it 1 inches, to become 4. That 4 now is our sleeve cap height. How? Let's, for instance, this is the length of our sleeve. This is the length we want to use. To get the curvy part, that is the armhole depth of our sleeve. Now we've measured the person's bust circumference. Now the person's bust circumference is 36. So since the person cups measurement is 36 and we divide it by 12, we have 3 inches plus 1 inches. That is our answer will now become 4. That's 4 inches our caps height measurement. That is what we connect it. So from here to here is your caps height. From here to here is your caps height. Now you must have known your armhole depth. Maybe when I say your armhole depth, this is what I mean. That is from this point here to this point that we measured earlier. Remember, this is the armhole depth. This is the armhole depth. Whatever your armhole depth is what you measure here. Is what you measure in the width of your sleeve. So let's assume it's 8 inches plus 2 inches for seam allowance becomes 10 inches. So you just make a straight curve this way, straight line this way, and after making the straight line, come up by about half an inch and curve it down. You see that now you have your armhole depth. So you come to the down part and measure your round sleeve measurement mark. So after doing this, you just have to trim it and you cut it out. So that is that for our sleeve caps height. So the measurement, like I've been writing it out on a note. Sleeves, let me zoom it again. Sleeves caps height. Number 4, our sleeves caps height. We need our bust circumference. Our bust circumference divided by 12 plus 1. Our bust circumference divided by 12 plus 1. Our bust circumference divided by 12 plus 1. I like repeating my words very well so that you'll be able to understand every bit of what I'm trying to say. So when we divide our bust circumference by 12 plus 1, that is, for example, e.g. our bust is 36 divided by 12, we have 3 plus 1. Our answer will become 4 inches. That will be our sleeve caps height. Now we get over to the fifth one. The fifth one is our off shoulder neckline. Our off shoulder neckline. We'll be taking 5 formulas today. This will be the last one. Then another day we'll take the remaining ones. So this number 5, our shoulder neck, our off shoulder neckline. Our off shoulder neckline width. Our off shoulder neckline width. In this case, we need our bust span. When I say bust span, I mean nipple to nipple measurement. We need our nipple to nipple measurement. That is bust span. Bust span plus 1. Our bust span plus 1. So we've known how to take our bust span. We've known how to measure our bust span. So if we want to get our off shoulder neckline width, that is the width of our neckline, of our off shoulder neckline, we need our nipple to nipple measurement plus 1 inches. Let me draw it here. Okay. Let me just use fabric to show you. But let's, for instance, our bust span is 4 plus 1 inch is 5 inches. So our neckline is 5 inches in this case. So let me show you with fabric. So by this time, we've all known that when we want to measure, when we want to sew an off shoulder dress, we would have to measure some inches away, and that would be the neck depth of the person. So let's, for instance, we are minusing 4. 4 is our armhole. Yeah, this is just a rough one. And 10 is our bust line. So all you have to do, let me use 15. Let me just use 15 as a half length. Now your nipple to nipple measurement, let's assume that is 4, like we've been using since. So we mark 4.5 plus half inches for seam allowance. You mark it this way. Just bring it upward. So it depends on the kind of neck you want to make. Depends on how will I explain it? Okay, let me just say what I'm trying to show you first. So by the time you minus your bust span plus 1 inches, this is your bust span 4. This is your bust span 4. Place your 4 here plus 1 inches, it will become 5. But because you are going to be sewing it with some allowances, you can add extra 1 inch. So your bust span plus 1 inch is your neckline, but the extra 1 inch you'll be adding to make it 2 inches is your sewing allowance. So you just mark it this way, and when you mark it, you connect it to your you can use your, you can curve it a bit, not that much, just curve it to your armhole line this way. So from here to here is the person's neckline width. That is the width of the person's neckline. In our next tutorial, I will show you how to bring out the person's sleeve, the person's off shoulder sleeve. That is what I will be showing you next time. So but for now, you can use this. You can always know that if you want to get the neckline of your client's your neck width of your client's off shoulder neckline, you use the person's bust span plus 1 inches. So but when you use these formulas, you will never make mistakes in your sewing. So if you find this video helpful, please tell me at the comment section, and if you have any question, just drop it so that I can go through it and let you and explain more better for you. So if you want to join, well, okay, let me just leave it for now. Till next time, thank you for watching.